So BTC's hanging around 70K. We've just had some news on KuCoin. Is that going to affect things in the market? So we're going to look at that very quickly. Then today we're looking at a couple of the majors. I'm looking at Sol and AVAX. Then I want to talk to you guys about some gaming stuff. I want to talk to you about these AI things because we know these RWAs have been pumping and some of these tokens, these gamings and these AI things have been quiet. They've been sort of just hanging around and we've seen a couple moving now. So we're going to look at that. And then I've got a 200% trade for you guys that fits the gaming narrative quite nicely. So we got so much to talk about here. Let's get right into it. Okay, so not quite as nice as it was the other day. I mean, this banter bubbles was bright green. We were feeling very happy. Now we got a mixed bag here. I'm not liking this 8.5% down on Phantom. Can somebody in the chats let me know what the fuck is going on with Phantom? Why is it down 8.5%? Then we see KuCoin on the right. There was some news that just come out on KuCoin. So let me just show you this tweet. I wonder if it's going to have some kind of effect on the market. So this has just come out now. Chaos is in the back. And he sent this to me like 1 minute before we went live here. It says the US government indicts crypto exchange KuCoin and 2 of its founders on criminal charges. Okay, how does that play out in the exchange? We'll have to wait and see. It's probably going to be something like a nothing burger, probably going to give us something, it might give us 1 or 2 entry opportunities and things. So let's see how the market takes it. But so far, we seem to be okay. So this is BTC on the 4-hour. We must just keep our eyes on the news here and just watch as this thing unfolds, this KuCoin thing, because some more news comes out, this thing could turn a little bit darker for us. But at the moment, 4-hour BTC, nothing really to worry about. We are coasting along, a little bleed out that you've probably experienced now. The leverage traders probably squeaking around in their chairs, waiting for me to go live, wanting to know what is going on. Well, I'm here now, and it started bouncing. So we're going to look at some of these areas. Here we are, this first one, the big one. 69K. That is really what you're watching. It's anywhere in this region for me. We're not going to get too greedy to the dollar, but anything around 69K for me is a nice little level that we're going to pay attention to. And then a little drip lower. If we look at this 68K, I mean, funnily enough, these things are tying in nicely with round numbers here, but 68K is also another potential hot zone for me. So these are the ones I'm mainly interested in today. So if we get a medium-sized bleed out here, and I would expect 68K to get bought up in the current market conditions that we are in. If they really want to get ugly, and I'm talking dirty, we're looking at 65,800. Okay, but I don't want to go there. I don't want to take you to these dark places today. Today, I want to tell you 68K is what you need to watch. If you're trading leverage, especially the 68K is going to be a big level for you, because if we start drifting below that, then the altcoin traders are really going to start feeling some deep burn there, and we might have to cancel the bullhorn. And I'm not quite ready to get rid of this bullhorn. So that's what I'm watching. And then upside, what do we need to deal with? Well, I've got a little liquidation heat map that I want to talk to you guys about. But this 72,500 on this current 4-hour chart looks quite interesting to me for now. And you can see it ties in okay with the liquidation heat map. This is the 3-day heat map. And look at this nice juicy yellow zone up there. And for me, this tells me there is still fun to be had for the market makers higher up. It looks like the best area for them to go ping is just to take us higher first before they come and make us feel pain. But if they do want to come lower, you can see some of these areas of interest down to the 65K. It is in play. Okay, so we can't say it's not in play. So let's keep our eyes on these levels. Let's see what's going on now. A couple of macro things. Yes, bullish news. Okay, so we got some bullish news coming out. Exchange traded notes now on the London Stock Exchange. So that's quite bullish. It's not quite an ETF because they don't own the assets, but very bullish news here for the crypto market. So that's pretty good stuff happening. And the Emperor, I just love this guy. I love this guy's tweet. Just super bullish. He's basically saying if BTC dumps to 65 again, it will be the time to buy the dip even harder. Buy everything you have belief in. Okay, so this guy's super bullish. He's loving it. I see Carl Chassie's underneath going excellent right up. So, the guys are loving what this guy is saying at the moment. So follow this guy, Emperor. Nice little comments there from him. And then the poor XRP army. Where are you guys? What? I haven't even looked at the chart since I saw this news. Chaos, have you looked at the chart? Did you see this?
Nah,
You didn't look.
I've really not looked at this chart very much. I'm sorry.
Maybe we'll deal with it. Maybe. Okay, so yeah, just another blow for the XRP army. And $1.9 billion fine against Ripple. How does that affect XRP and things like that? Well, look, we'll look at the charts and we'll come back to you on what we think is going to happen. But what I would say is, XRP's been slow, XRP's been quiet, XRP is a dust coin, and here we go again, another reason just to can it. So we'll keep watching. Okay, and I like this. Who feels like this? Okay, I mean, this guy's clearly a spot trader, and he just holds BTC, this guy. But he's like, wake up, check price, still above 55K, back to sleep. Okay, so he clearly just trades a spot BTC. He's clearly not a leverage trader like some of us here, who wake up and check price and just panic every 5 minutes. This guy's got no idea. What is this guy talking about? Okay, let's get on to some dominance. Now, this has been interesting for me. We've seen a little push here on dominance at the moment. So this is dominance on the weekly, and it's been in an incredibly tight range the last couple of days. It's been really tight, but I've noticed now a little push on this weekly chart. So if we dial in, we're going to see quite a healthy little push up here for dominance, and that's not necessarily very healthy for the altcoins. So just notable, guys, keep your eyes on this. If you're trading alts, watch what's going on here with dominance. This is not a cool vibe here that we have broken through this 50-day MA now and treating it as support. So that's telling me we're potentially now bullish on dominance for another push higher. So what does that mean? That means altcoins potentially feel a little bit of heat in these type of situations. If BTC is pumping, they feel less heat with dominance pumping. But if BTC is flat and or moving lower and dominance is pumping, then the story here. These altcoins are going to start bleeding out, and that's when you got to start watching your big areas, your big levels, and really start paying attention. So altcoin traders, watch this 50-day moving average now on dominance. This is the 4-hour I'm watching right now. Dominance looking bullish. So let's see what happens here. Okay, interesting comment here. And yesterday I promised you guys I wanted to cover some of the majors. Okay, so I've brought Sol and AVAX for you guys to talk about today. But just an interesting comment from Jackie's. I haven't got the CAS chart here for you guys, but I mean, we could do it because Chaos is here. He's my special guest in the back. So, maybe we'll pull out CAS for him. But Jackie's is saying that he wants to swap his Solana profits into CAS because the Sol versus CAS chart looks like it's ready for a bounce. And that's a very interesting comment that he's making. So just something to pay attention to, something to keep our eyes on. Remember, if the market starts dumping now and everything, this thing will stay sort of in equilibrium. They should sort of start falling together. But it's when the market starts turning bullish again and things start pumping that we might start seeing a nice little move here with CAS versus Sol. So that is something we need to make a note of. I see Dr. Maruk is here in the chats. And she's got some interesting comments, but I know she loves trading a bit of CAS. So maybe we need to find another CAS entry one of these days. And I'm talking probably today or tomorrow. So we'll be digging around. Sniper Club, guys, you've already got my chart in the Sniper Club. So go and check that out. And you can just, get an idea as to what I'm thinking there for CAS at the moment. Okay, here is Sol on the weekly. I've just dialed out again. Nice sort of bigger picture again to understand where we are in the bigger picture. We had our first little move down for Sol. So Sol traders, you remember this. We felt the burn. It was last week. It wasn't great. They sent us down. What did they ping? 162. Looks like they pinged you. And we were looking for orders at 159 on Prime XBT, where I wanted to add to that existing Sol position that I had. We now pinged off this level, but it doesn't mean we over. It doesn't mean we now shoot to the moon. So what we need to look at is say, this could be a potential scenario for us for Solana right now. So this is Sol on the weekly. And if we start getting something along these lines, is this Jackie's guy going to be right when he starts saying CAS will then start pumping in between? Because is it time for maybe a little bit of Sol consolidation? So just keep your eyes on this at the moment on Solana. Let's see what the market gives us. As far as support and things goes that I'm watching currently, and this includes my current open trade that you guys have seen that I'm in, 180 is now my marker that I'm watching. And the reason I like it, it's just the low of this weekly candle. So 180 is my marker. If we start dipping lower than that, I may start cutting a little bit of that trade. I do not want to give up all those profits again and come back and start visiting 159. So for me right now, 180 is my marker for Solana. And then my upside views, they haven't changed. I'm still looking at we're looking at 200, number one, and then number two, you've got the level, the big one. This is where we need to go next, all-time highs, 250. So these are still my big areas that I want to get to, and support levels, big numbers here, 180, number one, number two, 160. Those are the two big zones for Sol, and these should hold in, let's call it medium-sized BTC pullbacks. We should get 160 holding there for us. Okay, and then another big question. Who took advantage and who made 10x in the last 24 hours trading this absolute shit coin, BlackRock? Please let me know in the chats. I actually need to know. I called it yesterday on the show. I just want to find my tweet here for you guys. And, now Kyle Chassis is even talking about it, including our Kyle. You guys know that he's been talking about it too. And yes, Kyle Chassis talking about this BlackRock now. And, here we were yesterday. I dropped this tweet over here. Yesterday, we called this. We were $1.6 million market cap when we brought this thing up, and we've gone 10x since then. So very interested to know who of you guys got some of that. Yeah, I see Makra's in the chat saying 𝗪𝗚𝗘𝗘𝗫. And now remember, there's an imposter one called 𝗪𝗚𝗘𝗘𝗫. That's not the correct one. So the correct one we were trading was the BlackRock. That's the ticker, not 𝗪𝗚𝗘𝗫, even though it's called 𝗪𝗚𝗘𝗫. Okay. And just remember, guys, if you guys are making 5x, you're making 10x on some of these meme coins, you better be taking some profits here because these things can reverse just as quickly. Okay, let me see. I see some of you guys got it. Okay, some of you guys got it. I see Dcord is not talking about this. No, guys, it's so bad. Okay, so now there's this Mike Tyson one called THAVAGE that he's talking about. So instead of an S, the guy's now gone TH. And this is now the flavor of today, I see. Okay, Fahad says he's getting his hands dirty with some of these memes at the moment. And let's see what else we got. See, Ricky, no, you guys are obviously watching. You were obviously watching Run Show here. Okay, the degens are here. Okay, so let's go. Let's just look at this BlackRock here and see what's going on. Okay, so some severe pumpage here since yesterday. I mean, this is the 1 hour chart. And I mean, we've pinged the $10 million market cap. Yesterday, we were sitting down here at $1.6 million market cap. This thing has absolutely flown. So we were somewhere in that region. And look, it's about a 528% move from where were we? This was where we were yesterday morning. About a 580% so far on this BlackRock. Okay, so good move there. And then the THAVAGEs seem to be at it again. I see that one's peaked, or not peaked. It's just pinged the $1 million market cap. But remember, guys, if you're making profits on these meme coins, you're only making profits if you are taking profits. So don't be left holding the hot potato. That's all I can say. Okay, let's get into some of the flavor here. Let's go AVAX. And just to update, I've just noticed my AVAX trade, my other AVAX trade that I'm sitting in on Prime XBT started going a little bit red. And I zoomed in here for you guys and I thought, well, we better just look at the situation, because the number one policy we need to understand here for altcoin traders is we need to watch these rising trends. And as long as we're in the rising trends, we can't get too bearish, and we need to just trust the process. But when we start losing these trends, we just need to start sitting up and being aware as to what's going on, and start just playing a little bit safer. So right now, we need to have our eyes closely on AVAX. So AVAX traders, you can see what's happened here. We've pinged a nice little resistance band, couldn't get higher. Okay, so 58.5 is now our resistance we're watching. And what we're looking at now, trend support. Okay, so you can see we've got a rising trend here. We're looking for this trend support to hold for the bounce. That is the ideal bullish situation that we want. So we're looking at a bounce somewhere in this region here, around about 55.4, somewhere there. We're looking for this AVAX bounce. Now, what happens if we start losing this rising trend? Well, if we start losing the rising trend, we're putting ourselves in a position that says AVAX is now potentially starting a new downtrend. Okay, and what does that mean for us? It means we're coming down for the next while, and the result is going to be net down, okay, until the trend changes. So this is what we're looking at right now. Bulls, what you want to see a move into this region, trend and horizontal, and then you want to see a push up. But it's critical. We want to print a new high. We want to take out that previous high, and then we can stay bullish on things. So if we don't print the new high, what are we looking at? We're looking at AVAX then potentially drifting lower, and we're looking at a reaction at around about this 52 level. So mark 52 on your charts. We're looking at something along those lines, and then potentially some more downside for AVAX. So just keep this on your radar right now. We've got a rising trend in play. Let's stick to the rising trend. If we're bullish, we ride this trend. We play long off the trend. We play longs of horizontals. And when we lose the trend, we reassess, we readjust, and then we figure it out. So keep your eyes on AVAX. Big area coming now for us, sort of decision time, I would say. Okay, let's see. I see that some of the AI guys are here. We've got questions from regarding render. And don't forget, stick around. I've got a 200% trade that I've taken. I took it earlier today on a 5x margin. I'm looking for 200% profit. And it does have a little bit of a ring of gaming narrative to it. So we're going to get stuck into that one just now. This is Fetch. Okay, so this is my first AI play today. And a nice little update. We've seen a lot of strength from Fetch today. And is it time, for AI to start waking up? We've had consolidation now. We had the NVIDIA conference. We had all these things. And we've had a nice range. Since the 10th of March, it's been super boring. That's basically just over 2 weeks now in this range at the moment for Fetch and all these AI tokens. It's been very, very quiet from AI related things. And now finally, today we've got a little bit of strength. So what do I like about Fetch at the moment? Well, number one, we've got a nice trend break. So that's very bullish for us. This is Fetch on the 8 hour. Nice little trend break for us. And what does that tell us? It says to us, okay, if we're bullish, there's two things in play here. Number one, we've got a rising trend that we can see. Here's our rising trend coming up nicely. Okay, so that's number one. That's our new fun line for Fetch. Number two, we've broken the downtrend. Okay, so that is nice and interesting for us. So what does that mean? It means we've got a nice cluster of support in this region now for Fetch that the bulls can start getting hungry about. So 2.7 is a nice little support zone for all the bulls out there, all the AI bulls, the Fetch bulls, those type of things. Anything down to about this 2.7 looks like a nice hot zone for me here to add to Fetch and to sort of start laddering into positions and all these types of things if we are going to move higher. So you can see that's a nice little pretty picture there for you, and you can see why this makes sense here. We've got horizontals, we've got two trends in this area, and let's just bang out some fibbage here just in case and see what we have. Look at that, bang. We got a 618 backing you up as well at 2.63. Okay, so that's looking hot. 2.7 to 2.63 is a nice little hot zone for Fetch, and it's all-time highs coming. If we can remain bullish here, all-time highs on the way for Fetch. Remember, there's a lot of good news on that project at the moment, funding and all sorts of things going on. I think they were even talking staking and all these types of things. I know whenever I say the word staking, I know Chaos starts getting super excited. You can see he's nodding in the back. He's ready. Zahib wants to know the 200% coin name. I'm not there yet, bro. I'm getting it. We're getting that coin for you. Okay, let's go. Let's go to my next AI play. Okay, here's Ocean. So I want to just show you my current situation. You guys know that I was trading Ocean on WEEX the other day. WEEX is our new exchange sponsor. You can grab the link in the description, and that's under the show. So what you're going to do here, I'm going to explain to you now. Go under the show to the show link. I've got a full shopping list here. I've got all sorts of things happening. There's multiple exchanges there. Look at WEEX at the moment. That is second from the top. They've got a $300 rinse protection. Basically they call it trade protection, but it protects you for your first loss up to $300. Okay, and then they also have sign up bonuses and all these types of things. Some of the tiers are up to 10% of the amount that you are putting in. They are matching for you up to 10% in your trading account. So take a look at WEEX. It's also no KYC and i.e. KYC friendly and trader friendly. So let's just look at this Ocean situation. I want to tell you what I've done here, and I've taken my first buy. I've now opened a new long position on WEEX for Ocean. Here's my current WEEX situation, and I've started a new Ocean trade. Okay, so I'm turning bullish now on AI again. So you saw my last Ocean trade from yesterday on WEEX that I closed. Now we're looking at a new one, and my first buy is here on this current 382, and the next buy for me is going to be slightly lower down. So I'm looking at the 618, and I'm saying to myself, if I'm bullish now on AI, where am I buying the pullbacks? Where am I buying these areas? And I've marked them out for myself, and I've said these are the bullish zones for me. So if this AI play is going to work, and we're going to turn bullish on AI tokens, and let's hope KuCoin doesn't come and wreck everything now with the current situation. This is what I'm looking at for Ocean. So these are my current plays here. I'm buying here where you've seen I've just bought, and I'm going to add to my position if we get a dip lower down. So I'll double the size in that region, and then I'm going to get and then we're going to get this Ocean going. And a very simple play, if we start losing the rising trend for Ocean, it could potentially mean that this thing might be wanting to come a little bit lower. So if we lose this key level here, I'm going to read the levels to you now, then this trade is potentially null and void. So this is where I am right now. Key level number 1 for Ocean traders, 1.16. Okay, that's zone number 1. Zone number 2, 1.11. Okay, so both of these are buy areas for me. If we drift lower, I'm buying in that next block. And ultimately, we want to say we're bullish on Ocean. These are my buy zones. This is where I want this thing to go. So that is the Ocean plan for you guys. And then big things for Ocean. We're going to look at small moves originally. We just want to get the trade going. Then we can lift our stops up and all these things. But the highs are definitely on my radar here at about 1.42 is where I want to be for Ocean if we do get this thing moving. And then once we crack those highs, it's plain sailing. And things get a lot simpler there. Rion says, what's going on with KuCoin? We just saw some of the guys got arrested or something, just some dodgy shit. So let's see. Hopefully that doesn't kill the market for us. Okay, let's see. I saw some comment there and I just went straight past the comment. Light Painter says, is WEEX okay for the UK? It should be okay for the UK on VPN. Chaos, what do you think?
Haven't used it. Sorry. Don't know.
But you got the right accent to tell me. Okay, so can you do some research?
Yeah, of course can. No worries. I'll join.
Okay. So Chaos knows all these UK things. So we'll bring you up. And don't forget, Chaos is coming back just now. Okay, he's got some entries that we're looking at. I've got him out of his cage from the Sniper Club. So get ready. He's prepping things in the back there. And we'll see you in a sec, Chaos. Okay, so Chaos will hopefully tell us if WEEX is going to be working here for us for the UK friends. Okay, let's go. I'm just reading these comments. Fran says, what about Filecoin? Josh tweeted about it. Okay, I updated my Filecoin chart in Sniper Club today. There's massive support on Filecoin. I think it was the 50-day moving average. Get that on your chart. That is a big area that I was watching for Filecoin, if I'm not mistaken. So Sniper Club members, take a look at my chart in Filecoin. And those of you that don't know what Sniper Club, well, it's very simple. It's a paid service. Me and Sheldon and the Sniper team, Chaos, that you've just seen, sits in the back there as well. He's our airdrop guru. He's our indicator guru. He's like an absolute savage when it comes to this stuff. And he's going to tell you guys a little bit more about that just now. And what do you get in Sniper Club? You get access to all of us. You get Zoom sessions with us. You get my watch list of charts that I update there daily. Basically, put it this way. You wake up in the morning, you need some charts. Where do you go? You log into the Discord. Bang, I've updated all the charts for you. You look at the levels, you find your entries, you set your alarms, you set your limit orders, and you go about your day. So that is what I'm giving for you guys in Sniper Club. Then we've got Sheldon giving his setups, all these things. We got DJ and David in there. We got Bruce in there, who just told me today he gave about 4 or 5 banger trades in the last couple of days that everybody's very happy with. So that is what's happening in Sniper Club. And there's a link in the description if you want to come and join us, come and hang out with us at Sniper Club. Okay, let's go. Who wants a 200% trade? Let's see. I see Chaos put his hand up. Who wants a 200% trade? Okay, where's head of likes? Here's head of likes.
Yo.
What's our like it?
The like it is at, let's see.
Yo. What's our like it?
The like it.
We're echoing in the back there, Ray. What's going on there?
It's at 365. It's not good enough.
Oh, guys. Okay, we got 2,200 people here. Can we up that likeage here? And while we're having this discussion, if you like the content, literally hit the like button. Okay, so if you like it. And then subscribe to the channel, Banter Plus, and hit the notification, hit the bell button. and you'll have me in your lounge or in your kitchen while you're cooking, doing all those things, giving you setups. Okay, I'm sure the likes are coming through. Let's go. Okay, so the 200% play that I have at the moment, it's a mix. It's like a hybrid trade that I was super interested in. Okay, so this is Sui. Dive into the future of gaming with 5 games coming to Sui. Okay, so they've dipped their toes in the gaming world. Okay, what does this mean? RWA is great. They're pumping, they're ripping. I'm not going to say we're never going to fade RWAs, but you can't fade RWAs. I've just spoken about them so many times. These things are ripping. And what do we need to look at? We need to look at when these things pump enough, when they start consolidating these RWAs, where do we go? AI, okay, which has been consolidating. Gaming, which has been very slow. To be fair, it's actually been very quiet, the gaming side of things, in the last while. Anyone who's trading gaming knows it's been quiet out there. And here we are. So Sui is the 200% trade that I've taken today. And we gave out that signal in the Sniper Club as well. It's a 5x margin trade. Sui moving into gaming, loving the idea of this current situation. And here it goes. Okay, now I'm going to tell you multiple reasons why I think this Sui is going to hold this current support level and why it's going to move higher. So number one, look, it's quite a simple setup that I've given you, but the first 2 things you can see here for Sui is the 50-day moving average that we have in play right now. And we know these altcoins love this 50-day moving average. So we banged that. We got that in play. Okay. Number 2, I've got Easy Algo. Okay. I've highlighted Easy Algo here for you guys. And this was actually incredible. So those of you that trade Easy Algo or don't trade Easy Algo, look at this stuff. We use weekly pivots, daily pivots, and monthly pivots on Easy Algo. And the tighter these pivots are, if they're nice and tight together, it tells us that we're going to get an explosive move or a bigger move. If the pivots are further apart from each other, then it tells us it's more like a rangy type situation. And what do we look for? We want to be above these big pivots to know that we are in the right direction and trending the correct way. So if we are trading below these things, we tend to maybe look for shorts mainly in those areas. If we are trading above them, we look for longs onto pullbacks onto these things and longs on any pullbacks as long as we are sitting above these pivots. So if you zoom in here, you can see what's going on. The red lines is the monthly pivot, and look how tight this is. You don't often see a monthly pivot this tight. So number one, this tells me we are above the monthly pivot. Number 2, this tells me this monthly pivot should act as good support here now that we've broken through. Then with tied in with that, I've got the 50-day moving average bringing up extra support. Then another thing I've got that's playing out for me, I've got the weekly pivot, which are the yellow lines that you can see over there. They are also very tight. Okay, so now I've got the weekly pivots, I've got the monthly pivots, and I've got the 50-day moving average. And then to move a little bit higher, I mean, this is also ridiculous. Look at this daily pivot sitting here. This is this turquoise or this light blue that you can see over there. So we've got a cluster of daily, weekly, and monthly pivots telling me that this should, in fair conditions, okay? If BTC is going to fall over and there's some bullshit news out there, then, it's everything's, all bets are off. But under normal conditions, normal pullback conditions and things like that, this is a big zone now for us for Sui. This is a massive area of support and you need to trust it. And that's what I've done. So I've opened up a 5x margin trade on Sui, and I'm looking for bigger things here. So my first target was or is this 1.91 level that we are looking at. And the next target for me is 2.39. Okay, and that ties in with a fib extension. It was a 1.1618. That's what I was looking for. So let's just confirm. Let's just make sure it is the right extension. Oh, and then another thing, we obviously have fib support there as well for you guys. You can see I've got a nice little fib horizontal there, and there's our 1618. Okay, so that's why that target comes into play for me on Sui. So let's pay attention. Big support in play here for me, and the way I'm playing it now, the risk at the time was around about, say, 5%. From that entry box. But traders, that is a major area now. If we start losing that, the market is not in a good shape. Okay, and we don't want to be hanging around in those positions anyway if we start losing those types of areas. So that's a big one. That's a big level for me, and I think it's going to be a nice little trade there for us. I see Anna Banks says Wild is about, or WLD is about to break out on 15. Okay, well, let's not digress. Let's get into the juice here. Let's get into the important things. Okay, here's something called OPSEC. Okay, this is interesting to me. I'll tell you why it's interesting to me. There was a tweet floating around of this OPSEC guy hanging out with old 𝗬𝗘𝗘𝗫. And, you know, when the guys hang out with him, you know, they post this tweet because they know, pumps their bags. They know it gives them credit. And, you know, this guy, now he's posted his tweet with 𝗬𝗘𝗘𝗫. Read his tweet, read what's going on there with OPSEC. But Rodolfo, the researcher that hangs out at Sniper Club for you guys. And you can also follow him on Twitter. It's Rodolfo Posa. You can follow him. He brought OPSEC to my attention quite some time ago. And he likes this one fundamentally. So keep your eyes on OPSEC. I think this is moving into a nice little buy zone. And very, very simple play here for OPSEC. You can see, once again, I've painted you a nice little rising trend. So we can play with a rising trend. Easy game here. And if we start losing this rising trend, well, then it's a different story. So number one, I'm looking for a move into horizontal trend. I'm looking for this to hold now if we're going to stay bullish. And if we lose this trend, it's a simple game. Then we're looking at lower levels and we're going to start pinging areas and horizontals of interest later on. Okay, but step one, this is the first buy zone for me for OPSEC. And yeah, take a look at that. OPSEC on the 4 hour, nice juicy area right now at this exact level here. 2.2. Okay, that's your area. 2.2 for OPSEC. Nice little buy zone. Chaos, you like this thing? You know this thing?
I do like this thing. I'm just laughing heavily at what you just drew on the screen. You drew there's a massive dick pointing right at you.
Did I draw a dick?
I've stuck it on WhatsApp for you. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, OPSEC's cool, man. Yeah, you'll have to go back a fair bit further than that. OPSEC was wicked. That was good to see. Mate, have a look at WhatsApp.
Oh my god!
Sorry. Yeah, the fact that he was hanging out with 𝗬𝗘𝗘𝗫's really cool. It's quite exciting. It's you know, it's a cool narrative. Hopefully, it'll be a really good token. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, I didn't mean to draw a dick on the screen.
Okay. Such a child. Sorry.
Mickey says, since we missed the 𝗬𝗢 trade, where is the retrace to enter? Okay, so Mickey, let's look at this. Let's see how to play this game. Okay, so this 𝗬𝗢's been hovering around in this box for a couple of hours. Obviously, unfortunately, now it's started ripping just before I went live. So you know, I did want to present you guys with this trade. Big support that you got. You know the major support now. If you're looking for retraces and areas of interest, what you can do is dial in again. So it's a simple plan, simple process, and you can start looking for pullback zones and things like that that are of interest. So number one, let's start with some fibbage here. We go from the lows to the highs. Okay, and then you can see on the 1 hour, so let's just take this box away for now. On the 1 hour, you can see some nice little areas, and they have come back with a little dump there on BTC, and they've bought it up quite quickly. So we can see this area right now is a nice little zone of interest for us. So anything around this 1.76 to about 1.75, anywhere in that area for me looks like a support zone that you can play around with. And then lower down 1.70. Okay, so for me, this whole region is going to hold. Well, not is going to hold, because in crypto we never say never, and we never say it will. Okay, because crypto gods come and they kill you if you have that type of attitude. So watch these support levels: 1.76, watch 1.70, and then the big dog down here, which is just below the monthly pivots, the weekly pivots, all these types of things. This 1.66 type region. Okay, that is what you need to watch. And there is a similar looking setup. Okay, it's not as fundamentally, like, I don't have the same reason to give you this trade as I did with 𝗬𝗢. Okay, but it looks very similar when you look at things like 𝗲𝗎𝗒𝒻. Okay, it's got a very similar look to it. Okay, so the conviction with 𝗬𝗢 is they're moving into gaming. There's a reason that you want to be looking at 𝗬𝗢, those types of things. Say it's been incredibly quiet lately, and the only information I have here for, say, backing up the chart, unless Chaos maybe knows something different, is the fact that these 𝗲𝗎𝗒𝗪 is giving us monthly pivot, weekly pivot, daily pivot. They're giving us 50-day moving average. They're basically painting the same picture for us that they have given us on 𝗬𝗢. So, Chaos, you know anything about this?
Yeah, listen, Say and 𝗬𝗢 are both in a similar sort of area right now. They've both got all these airdrop things going on, the staking natively in the wallets. There's a lot going on behind the scenes on the ecosystems with these. So they're much more fundamentally sound. The charts obviously look very similar, but in terms of what they've got going on, they're paying out quite a lot, and there's a lot of protocols that are now active with airdrops on both of these. So yeah, it's got a bright future.
Okay, so again, it's not a high conviction trade like I had with Sui, because we got a reason for the Sui trade. But if you're interested in a trade, okay, and you're interested in a support level to watch, this would be your strategy. This would be your plan. So you could nibble in this box now. Again, you don't want to go full size in this box. You can buy a little bit in this area, okay? Then you want to just kick back. You want to be patient. You want to let it play out. And if things turn bullish, okay, we're going to get that pop and we're going to get this retest, okay? And that's going to be where you're going to buy your next batch of say, okay? So don't ape in now in this region. What you want to do is you can nibble knowing that we've got a monthly pivot, weekly pivot, daily pivot underneath you, okay? So anything down to 0.797, okay, is a nice big support zone based on 𝗎𝗔𝗔𝗪. This is what 𝗎𝗔𝗔𝗪 is telling us. And then when we turn bullish, we pop the trend. Then we want some kind of retest. And when we get that support confirmation, that is where you can add to your position. You can raise your stop and do these things. So it's a 2 sort of phase trade if you want to play it. So it's a nibble now, don't ape now, a little bit now. Let it start moving. Once it starts moving, look for that retest, look for the break of trend, and then you can add again. And then we've got the bigger targets that we're looking at. Those targets are 0.97 and 1.11. Okay, so that is how you're going to play that. That is how you're going to watch that. Okay. Let's see. Questions for Dot. Questions for Arb. Vincent says, you. Okay, so there's something else we're going to do, guys. And I don't know how we're going to coordinate this. But basically, I want to get 1 or 2 of the guests. And, maybe we'll pull up some of the Sniper Club members. And we'll let them come sit in the back end with us over here, with us on the show, and we'll bring them up and ask them some questions. So, guys, DM me on Twitter, message us here in the chats, Sniper Club guys as well. Make contact there with us. Let me know who's keen, and we'll bring up 1 or 2 guests every now and again, and we'll ask you what you're trading. We'll ask you some questions, and maybe if you have a banger setup that everyone likes, you can show them. So, yeah, let me know, guys. Let me know in the chats if you think that's a good idea. We were speaking about it this morning, and it would be nice to get the community involved and on the show. Let's get you guys some airtime if you got some cool setups. Okay, I've got some gaming things we need to talk about here. Okay, sure, we got to move. We got to move here. We got to move. Okay, Gala. This is. Do you know who this guy is? But
not hugely, just from here. Okay. Just from here. Yeah.
No, well, he's basically blowing the Gala trumpet. I'm not going to bore anyone by reading this, but basically this guy loves Gala. Okay. So what have I got for you? I've got you some Gala stuff. We know Gala was dead 6 months ago in the bear market. We were like, this thing is fucked. This thing is going to zero. The developers were fighting. It was absolute disaster what was going on with Gala. And now everyone seems to have forgotten. And it's pumping. So let's get you an entry. Let's look at what we can do. So simple game plan here for Gala. We've got a rising trend in play right now that we are watching. You can see this trend was beautiful pushing up. So number 1, we know we're in a rising trend. And number 2, we're looking for support regions where we can get some kind of reaction. So you saw what happened here. We had a pump. We had a little 618 bounce. There we go. Bang. Okay, so now we're looking for our next move. Is our next move into this 382 region and then a push higher? So what I'm thinking here, look at the support, 0.0638. Okay, 0.064, 0.0638 for Gala looks like a nice little zone where you can start nibbling at potential longs. And it's the same simple play that I've shown you on a lot of these other tokens. We are close to our rising trends now. And these we need to pay attention to. So we're going to buy on trend support. We're going to buy on horizontal support, on fib support, all these types of things. And we buy these areas until they fail. Okay, so that is a long potentially building here right now for Gala, 0.064. And same play. If we start losing that trend, it's a different story. And we're going to be looking for buyers lower down, but we're going to have a different game plan on Gala, because if we lose that trend, then we are potentially in a downtrend, and we're going to be looking at things like that until that downtrend gets broken. So right now we're in the uptrend, we're playing this uptrend, and we treat it as such until it fails. So big area 0.064 is what you're looking at for Gala as a potential entry zone, potential long zone for you for the Gala traders. And then upside, you just want to take out these highs, 0.084. That is your first sort of region you want to pay attention to. You want to look at that zone. Once we pinged that area, then we can game plan the rest of the move, and we'll tackle some of those other levels.
I'll tell you what, Deal, on the 1 hour with Gala, I don't know if you want to bring my screen up real quick. I've got 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪 on the 1 hour. What I'm obviously seeing here is it's a much shorter time frame. I'm zoomed in, just seeing what's going on today. Obviously, we are respecting this trend line perfectly. I've noticed the stochastics actually bottomed out and it's turned up. So, you know, there is a potential bounce coming here. The same thing with market cipher. We're bringing sort of momentum waves come down. What we'll have next is it kind of come off like this, and then it will start to go up again. So there's quite a good chance that we found even a local bottom.
And it's exactly order block there.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. We're in an order block now. It's completely bullish because the bears are far more exhausted than the bulls are. You know, this I'd hope to see a higher high and a bounce. That's kind of what I would be expecting on Gala.
Okay, so degen traders. Okay, so now remember, if we're dialing in here on the 1 hour, we're going slightly more degen. Might be slightly more suited for the leverage guys, but you can see what Chaos has done there. It's got a nice rising trend there in play. It's the exact same principle I've shown you, but on a zoomed in scale. Okay, so potential short-term move coming here.
Yeah, looks good.
I see Jockey says it's looking good as well. Jockey says he likes it.
Must be a degen.
Must be. Flipper says the video is a big blur. Flipper, you can adjust your video settings on your side. When I watch these videos on phone or wherever, it looks pretty clear to me. So just adjust your YouTube settings.
Look at that.
What is that?
That is KCS. That's the KuCoin.
Ooh, this could be a bounce. This could be a trade here.
This is what I was trying to show you before. We just pinged the order block perfectly. We're in it now.
Hold on. I think we got a trade here.
There we go. I thought you'd like that.
Okay, wait. Maybe we can open a trade here quickly. Hold on.
That's why I brought it up.
Okay, so can you zoom in on that quickly for everybody?
Yeah, sure, bro. Sure. So we had a support level back in 20th of March. We've just absolutely we left an order block in place. It technically is a bullish order block, and we've just absolutely pinged it to the T. We've got a short that played out. Yeah, look at this.
50-day moving average on the button there as well.
Yeah. This looks good. The only downside is to take leverage on this. I think you need to be on KuCoin, and I'm having a problem with KuCoin. I'm just trying to withdraw stuff today.
The problem is KuCoin. Oh,
yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to trade this on MEXC.
You can get it on spot on MEXC, but you need to get onto KuCoin leverage. There's a problem.
Okay, well, guys, here's the plan. Okay, so just let me pull my chart up quickly. Okay, so KCS. Okay, this is high risk stuff, okay, because now bad news has come out. There could be more bad news coming out. Just understand what you're dealing with here. But what reasons do we have that it could potentially bounce? Horizontals, okay, number 1, 50-day moving average, number 2, and number 3, we've got the order block that Chaos just showed you on the 1 hour. Hopefully we're using the same exchange here for the order blocks. Yeah, there they are. Okay, that's a nice little bullish order block as well. So there's a potential bounce coming here. Again, that doesn't mean KCS now bounces and rides to the moon. But what does it tell us? It tells us potentially a little bit oversold now, and you might get some kind of reaction here. So let's see how the market digests the news. But if you're looking for a little scalp, you can nibble at this region, and look, we might have a situation like this where more news starts coming out, and then they really start killing this thing. But if the exchange is going to live on, you're going to get an even better entry. So right now, what you're looking at, maybe a potential bounce along these lines, and then potentially some bigger downside on KCS. But if you want to take advantage of a scalp, that is it. 50-day MA, horizontal, order block. There's 3 reasons there why this thing could potentially react here. Okay, let's get back
put a tweet out. KuCoin have put a tweet out saying we're operating well, we're respecting the law and regulations, everything's fine, as they would do. So they're going to fight this thing. Yeah.
So see how it goes. Those are your big areas, and then simple play. If you lose this area on KuCoin, you can see this candle. They're going to come and wipe this candle out quickly. Okay, I don't think they'd hold it until they move to the next level. Okay, so if you lose this area, expect it to come down, and then you're looking at about 11.3. That is your next area of interest for you. 11.3 is going to be the next zone that you want to look at. Okay, let's get back into some of these gaming tokens, because this is why we're here today. Okay, number 2, GameSwift, GSWIFT. I think you've spoken about this one before.
I had this is staked. Beautiful coin stake, really nice.
Okay, so staking narrative, things going on. We've noticed it's been incredibly quiet for forever. Okay, it's been quiet. I mean, the highs that peaked beginning of March. We are now a month later, and we're still in this range. It's just floating around at the moment, and maybe we've got some kind of change in trend at the moment. So you can see we've had this downtrend in play here on GSWIFT. Now we're starting to push higher, and we've potentially now created a new rising trend. How do we keep playing the rising trend? Number one, you look for bullish bounces in some good zones. So the first area of interest here for GameSwift, GSWIFT, 0.66. And then your next big one that you want to pay attention to, 0.64. Both of these are areas of interest. Both of these are potential buy zones. If this trend is going to continue, these are the areas that you are looking for potential moves higher. So GameSwift, I quite like anything on this region. You can see it's a 618 fib. And then a little bit lower down, we've got the 786 fib in play with a 50-day moving average as well, and some horizontals. So both of these are decent areas for some kind of bullish bounce. If this market is going to behave, then we are going to cook on these guys. Okay, let's go CREO. Another one, it's basically Nakamoto Games number 2. Is that the correct phrasing for this thing?
Yeah, I think so. I bought this one a while back. It's, yeah, thanks to Rodolfo, actually.
Okay, so yeah, lots of Rodolfo the researcher. He's come up again. You know, he finds us some banging things, and he is sitting there in Sniper Club as well. So what do you want to watch for CREO? Again, nice little play here. If we get a gaming narrative, remember at some point these gaming tokens come back. They come alive again. And all the quietness and all the, you know, all this ranging gets forgotten about, and these things start flying. So you need to know your big levels. You need to know your areas of opportunity where you can buy these things. And we've had a nice little bleed out here so far for this CREO. We've had a 21% pullback already. So interesting zone number 1 coming up right now, 0.15. Okay, so this is area number 1 where you can start nibbling. This is area number 1 where you can start looking for some entries, some positions in this CREO. Okay, so there's your first sort of setup that you're looking at, and you can see your supports, you can see your horizontals, nice and clear in validation. If we lose these horizontals, then pretty, you know, I wouldn't say with 100% certainty, but balance of probabilities tells us they're going to want to come and visit the next level. What is the next level? 50-day MA, 618 horizontals. That is our next area. So that number is 0.115. So that's area number 2. 0.115. That is where your next potential bounce or your next potential long is going to be. If the first area doesn't hold for you, that is your next area that you're going to be playing in. So that is what it looks like now for CREO. And your target's always going to be your next horizontal, your next high. Once you're there, then we can start planning the next potential move and the next potential area. But when you're starting out a trade, just look for the distance to your next resistance zone. That normally gives you a good guide as to what is going on. Ripple Munchers looking for IMX. Let's see. No, I've got PYR. Okay, here's PYR. They've started staking. Chaos.
Yep.
Staking narrative.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us what happens with staking for those that don't know what staking is.
Apart from the fact that your tokens get locked up for a little while, the idea is you stake, you secure the blockchains, and your tokens get held. There's normally an unlock period. So if you're planning to sell your tokens, obviously imminently, staking isn't for you. But the idea is you lock your tokens up, you get paid out an APR through single-sided staking or liquid staking. You get 2 tokens you can put in together. You've got to watch out for impermanent loss. But generally speaking, you put your money in and you get more money back. That's the idea.
Okay. Rev.Biker says steak and chips. Okay, so he likes staking, clearly. Okay, so basically, guys, staking, if people start taking their tokens, stake it, bullish. Okay, that's the general plan. Staking narrative has been hot for months. Everyone's trying it. You know, are people starting to fall for it now? Maybe they're falling for it less. You know, remember how Pyth was pumping, Say was pumping, Injective, all these things was staking narrative. But anyway, here's PYR. Okay, the first time I gave you this PYR trade was 3 weeks ago, and we pinged TP1. That is what we hit here. Let's just take a look here. We had a 40% move there on PYR. Here it is again. It's the same trade. Okay, we this time hopefully looking for higher. PYR, what do we have? Trend support, weekly trend support. This is the weekly chart. I've got 382. I've got 50-day moving average for you right here. And we can say if we lose the 50-day moving average, so that's about a 6% risk here for PYR traders. If you lose the 50-day moving average, then there's a good possibility that they're still bearish on gaming, and we're potentially coming a little bit lower. And a little bit lower for me is the 618 tied in with the 200-day moving average and the weekly level. So it's a huge zone here at 5.9. So 5.9 is the next big area for PYR. Currently, this is a big area. 7.7 is where you're looking for potential longs here. Your exit is a loss of this 50-day moving average. So if we close under the 50-day MA, we're getting tired, and we potentially going a little bit lower. So eyes on PYR. I think it's a nice little mover. And then here comes MAVIA, and potential trade coming right now for MAVIA that we've been waiting for today. There were two options on this MAVIA setup that I was watching today. Number one was going to be this push up here. We were looking for support in this region, and then a nice little push higher. That's kind of what we were looking at up there. And then number two was a pullback to a rising trend and support. So let's see how MAVIA performs now, drifting into our box. And then I did have something interesting here for you guys. I've got weekly pivot very tight here, lower down as support at 6.2, and then I've got the daily pivot right now that is sitting on 6.4. So both of these areas look to me like they are decent support zones, and all being well, we should get some kind of long entry here. Look at the 618 as well, just bringing up a little bit of extra support. So what do I have here for MAVIA? Why am I going to buy MAVIA in this region? I've got a 618 at 6.28. I've got the weekly pivot from Easy Algo, and I've got horizontals here holding up support. So anything down to about 6.2 for me is support. It's a bounce zone for me for MAVIA, and it's a very clean exit. If we lose these levels, then we know we're jumping out of this trade. We'll get into the next one if we lose the trend, and we'll wait. We'll let things settle, and we'll play it from there. So MAVIA, I'm going to take a position as soon as we dip in here. So let's add our alarms. Okay, so you can set your alarm on TradingView, hit the little plus on the right-hand side, and there you go. My alarm is now set. So if we hit this box, I'm going to start laddering into an entry here. Those are the reasons why I think it's going to hold. Trend, 618, weekly pivot, horizontal. If we lose the trend, we reassess. We look for another day, another trade. Okay, Chaos, time is up. We didn't get your entries. We're going to do it tomorrow. Come back tomorrow. Okay. Guys, Chaos is going to come back tomorrow. We'll deal with CAS tomorrow as well. We'll cover that. Let's see if this KuCoin news is going to behave. Let's see what type of damage they're going to do to us in the next 24 hours. Let's see how the market reacts. You know some key levels now. Maybe some great entry opportunities are going to come now in the next couple of hours. So eyes on. It could be very exciting. Good luck out there. Don't overtrade. See you guys later.